Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Happy Hour Community Show. Everybody wave. Hello.
Hello.
I'm one of your hosts, Community Content Manager Jared Huckaby. And if you've never seen the Happy Hour Community Show, that's where we take a little bit of time out of our week at the end to share with you a little bit about what's going on with Star Citizen, talk about the hot topics of the week, or in this case, probably the last month since we've been on, and of course, answer your questions in chat. Before we get started, let's go ahead and introduce our esteemed panel. Look, we have so many people here today. Immediately to my right, why don't you tell the folks who you are?
Hi, everyone. I'm Community Manager Tyler Nolan. And to my right...
Hey, I'm Ben Lesnick, Director of Community Engagement for Cloud Imperium Games.
Ben,
welcome back, Ben.
To scoot in a little bit.
All right.
There you go. Welcome back, Ben.
Thank you.
You came back. You came back to work Tuesday, right?
That's right. This is my 4th day back. It's been an interesting week, mostly listening in meetings, trying to figure out what the heck is going on right now.
Yes, what we've done with the place in the last
Yes.
month. Okay.
What did you do with the place?
Yes. And joining us remotely from Austin, Texas.
Hello. Yes, first off, Ben, welcome back.
Thank
it is
you.
amazing to see you. I know I speak on behalf of everybody. Tyler Witkin, I am the lead community manager working in the Austin, Texas studio. And to my...
It'll be to your left, based on the broadcast.
Other way.
No, other way.
This way.
Other way. There you go.
This way. Go ahead. Take it away. Take it away.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ulf, community manager based in Germany, Frankfurt studio. Welcome back, Ben.
Thank you.
So Ulf, this is your very first happy hour. This is your very first broadcast of any kind. Oh, actually, no. You showed up on our Gamescom show floor stream for a few minutes. All right, so I don't have to explain.
I was there for I don't know, like 5 minutes, something like that. Enjoyed it very much. So I asked you guys if I could be here.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. How long have you been with the company now?
I think it's almost 3 weeks now. Yeah.
What do you think?
15th of August was my first day at the company.
Wow. What do you think so far?
Yeah, like the first week, I had tied up at my site, so it was very exciting. I had prepared for Gamescom. The second week was Gamescom, so I got to know a lot of people, a lot of guys from the community. Got to talk to them and get the overall feeling for the community. So that was really nice. And now I'm back in the office and I'm getting settled.
Nice.
Yep.
So if anyone else out there ever gets a job here, just don't start the week before Gamescom.
Yes.
No, I was going to say, we talked about it during Gamescom.
No.
We have a habit of doing this. Whenever we bring on new people, it's always right before a big event, and then they get just thrown into the mix.
Yeah, we figured.
It's totally fine. I was on holidays before I joined, and I was actually hoping that I could go to Gamescom. So when I got the email, I was happy, right?
Yeah. Well, we figure if you can survive that, you can survive just about anything. So, Gamescom.
Next up, CitizenCon.
Yeah, don't even get me started yet.
Wow.
You got this, Red One. All right, Jared.
So, while we're on the topic of Gamescom, we just wrapped that up. What is that now? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
3 weeks ago? 1 week ago? I don't remember. Had a lot of stuff going on. We had the Gamescom show floor broadcast that went live from our booth in Hall 9. I do want to give a special thanks to DJ Knight, to Sergeant Gamble, and of course to Meyer Test for joining us for the festivities there. If you haven't had a chance to watch any of those, the replays are available on YouTube. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff to see, including firefights on the dark side of the moon, and my personal favorite, the Drake Interplanetary Suborbital Release and Catch.
We should also thank our entire cadre of volunteers who help put on these
Absolutely.
events.
Seriously, they did an incredible job. I don't know how we could have done it without them.
Yeah, no, it's
We couldn't.
there's absolutely no overstatement in saying that it is not possible for us to pull off these events without, what is it, 20, 25 volunteers? I don't know how many precise numbers, but the volunteers, not just at our show floor booth, but at the Gloria Theater venue for the presentation, and even at our B2B booth. It's absolutely not possible for us to do this without them. So thank you so much, and I wish I could call out every single one of them right now, but I can't.
Because he doesn't remember all the names.
No, there's too many. I'm not that good. All right, so So those of you who are watching either on Twitch or on YouTube, welcome. We take questions during these shows, then answer them live. You can submit your questions either in the Twitch chat, which is twitch.tv/StarCitizen, or on Spectrum, which is, of course, robertspaceindustriescom/Spectrum. You can submit your questions in either the general chat on Spectrum or on Twitch. Please preface your question with the word question in capital letters surrounded by brackets. That's going to help us pull the questions out from all the various detritus that's going on. Our first question right off the bat comes from Raya Rogers. Says, in the stamina system, what is the difference between the O2 tank and the suit oxygen? Now, Raya Rogers is talking about the stamina system segment that aired in yesterday's Around the Verse. As far as the O2 tank and the suit oxygen, they are the same source. Basically, what they're saying is that they've created they use the room system, and the room system is what holds all the various oxygens. So there's basically a tiny room inside your helmet is how they've managed to fix this. So basically that room that's inside your helmet is the suit oxygen. And the suit oxygen pulls its oxygen from the O2 tank that you carry with you. And of course, when you take the helmet off, you remove the oxygen room from your head and you suffocate right on the spot.
I think you need to remove the oxygen helmet from your I don't know.
No.
Welcome back, Ben.
Welcome back,
It's
Ben.
a recovery.
Good to have you.
It's going to take a while for Ben to get up to speed.
Here's another question from Kendari, how's the CIG Austin office holding up after the aftermath of Harvey? Everyone is alive and well here. We have sunny skies. It was really, most of the crazy stuff going on was south of us. We just had a lot of rain. But yeah, our thoughts are out with everybody down closer to the coast that's having to deal with it.
And yeah, that's our thoughts. Folks in Florida also.
Absolutely.
Folks in Mexico. It's a bad time in a lot of places, and we got.
There was an 8.0 earthquake in Mexico last night.
Yeah. It's.
Be safe, everybody.
The West Coast is on fire.
And the Pacific, the entire Pacific Northwest is on fire. So, all right.
And I know a lot of backers out there are impacted by this stuff, and you are in our thoughts.
Absolutely.
Okay. Question from Sniper NLN: why does the Cutlass Black have no toilet? That's because Matt Sherman has talked about this a couple times in Spectrum Chat. Basically, in fitting all the gameplay that they want the Cutlass to be able to handle, toilet gameplay was low on the priorities. So it's one of those things. It's you can't have everything it's like speccing out a character in the RPG. You can't have 50 strength, 50 stamina, 50 intelligence, 50 charisma. To put something in, you have to take something out, and the toilet was the unfortunate consequence of the improved gameplay for the Cutlass. So,
and I would say that kind of dates back to just the very original concept of Drake. They cut corners to make a ship that. And I hate to say this, but everybody say with me together, to make a ship that punches above. Okay.
No. Basically, what Ben's trying to say is if you own a Cutlass, purchase a bucket.
I am not saying.
Okay. Wow.
Space diaper will be fine.
The suit will work temporarily.
What happens in the suit stays in the suit, right?
Yes. How does that affect the oxygen room?
Next question.
what else do we got here? Let's see. Stefan asks, will the front entrance of the Freelancer stay with the other models, or will it come back to the current normal Freelancer? Stefan, that's not a question that'll have an answer until it comes time to build out the other Freelancers. Right now, the current flyable Freelancer is the most recent version of the Freelancer, which has had several kind of revamps over the years, trying to bring it in line with all the current systems. We won't know what the Max, the Miss, and the DUR have until it comes time to build those out. So, stay tuned. Let's see, what else do we got? We're all looking at questions. What do we got?
I should have never mentioned the bucket.
Nope.
How many SCU does a bucket use?
I apologize. I'm gonna pull up Spectrum.
Come on,
as well.
Tyler. How many SCU does the bucket use?
It's subject to change throughout the course of development, but currently slightly more than an Idris.
Wow, that's a big bucket.
Bite your head off.
Okay. Let's see here.
All right. Because this has come up several times, what happened with the last ATB crazy camera cuts? So, for those of you who ever watched ATB yesterday, you'll notice the camera jumped around quite a bit. This actually happens in every ATB. It's how we get rid of the ums and the ahs and the pregnant pauses because, you know, our developers are fantastic at making video games, but they're not always the most comfortable or experienced on camera. So if you remember ATB back in ye old days, there used to be lots of ums and ahs, and you all would make plenty of fun of people for who would do that. In recent months, we've gone to cutting those ums and ahs out. We usually cover that with a variety of B-roll. B-roll is, of course, the gameplay that you see that goes over when a person talks. Because the stamina systems segment was a whopping 30 minutes yesterday, there was not enough B-roll to cover all the cuts. So basically, you're faced with two options at that point. You keep the ums and the ahs, in which case the 30-minute segment becomes 35 minutes or whatnot. I'm just pulling numbers out of the air. Or you cut them out and you get a more comfortable flow with the conversation. So that's what happened. Basically, it's the cost of doing business. It happens in every single ATB. It's a perfectly normal thing. It's just normally we try our best to have as much B-roll to cover those cuts as we can.
Yeah, and seriously, this is one of the side effects of having such open development, where we're really showing you the raw and genuine side of the project. These developers, a lot of them, they know how to program, they know how to do art. They didn't sign up to be on camera to talk about stuff all of the time, but they're more than willing to, and that's just in the effort of trying to uphold our philosophy of being open. And so with that, you'll get some ums and some ahs.
Magnus Centauri says, what was EKD talking about in ATV about getting specific tests for ETF? Well, basically, the Evocati test flight is not just we don't just release it to them and they just get to play things early. We release it to them and we have specific test instructions. We want all of you to jump into this game mode with these ships and try to do this. We want you all to jump in, to fly to this moon in these vehicles and go to this point. That's what he was referring to. There are several specific things that we know that we're going to need a large group of people to test far more than our individual, than our QA teams in 4 studios around the world. So that's what he was talking about. We're creating the list of specific tests that we're going to assign to ETF in order to do.
Yeah, and it is very common for there to be structured test cases. Like, obviously not everybody has visibility on exactly what Evocati's doing, but a lot of it in the past, we've had Ahmed and bearded CIG go in there and just, sometimes it's like, nobody fire your weapons, everybody line up, right? Everybody should fire your weapons at the exact same time, and then they're running debuggers on the background just to kind of see performance and stuff like that. So a lot of it's structured and organized, and so yeah, just what Jared said.
Yeah. Major Malfunction asks, is Planet Nope still a possibility? I wouldn't hold your breath.
Probably not.
I wouldn't hold your breath. We've got plenty of planets already in the pipeline, already scheduled to build. You should check out the star map at some point. It's I think it would be a hard sell for me to convince them to add one more when we have so many to build already. Klausberger says, cheers to Germany. Ulf for the win.
Yes.
Well, yeah, cheers, Klausberger. Yeah. Nice to have you.
Yeah. No, Ulf is, we've been wanting a German community manager for quite some time, and we've already started putting him to work. If you watch, even in this Monday's Citizens of the Stars, we had a German language video that we thought was we thought was okay, but it's like, hey, we have a resource now, so we can send it to Ulf. And it's like, hey,
yeah,
we
just
watch this.
Just send it to me. I'm checking it.
And make sure it's all. So it's we're already putting him to work in every aspect. So.
I mean, his second week on the job, he was thrown in front of a camera, given a microphone, and hey, can you interview Chris Roberts about the Gamescom presentation?
That was actually how I met him for the first time.
You were interviewing him, so
I was holding a microphone in front of his face.
Yes, we don't mess around here.
Yeah, no.
Weeborg asks, when will the Great and Awesome Happy Hour Museum be continuing?
Yes.
Very, very, very soon. I want to do a live stream of Special Ops 1, and I want to do another museum as soon as we possibly can. One of the absolutely fantastic things about recovering from surgery is that it turns out I haven't been able to see for 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
The thing that happened to my eye was slowly happening over the last several years, and I just put it out of my mind. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with this. So I've been literally flying blind on all of the previous previous stream.
Yes, and even to the point where it affected your posture.
Yes.
We've discovered that well, it's just since he had the surgery and since his eyesight improved, he's taller. He's so much taller than normal. Even when we're setting the camera, I'm like, why are you so much taller now than you were? He's standing in an elevator. Like, Alexis and I are looking. I'm like, why are you so much taller than you have been?
It's because the lens was floating out of my eye, and I guess my body figured out that if I kind of hunched over like this, it would float back into place and I'd see better. And it was all unconscious, but it took a couple inches off my height.
Yep.
So you literally beat Wing Commander blind, someone says.
Yep. Yep. So you've had enough practice with it over the years. All right. As far as the questions that come in, when questions, guys, we're not going to be able to provide much in the way of answers for when questions. The answer for almost every when question in existence is simply when it's ready.
Yes.
So,
Ronan says, Tyler, what's the cam in the background for? That's just one of our cameras we use to film, like Citizens of the Stars or ATV segments or any of the burned down segments. But more importantly, this.
what did that have to do with the camera?
Nothing.
does it do?
But I
Nothing.
turned around to look at the camera, and then I saw engineers work, and I just like to show it off as often as possible. It was supposed to go in the lobby. I don't know how it ended up in here.
Probably the same way that the Nox and the Dragonfly that Rice made for us are at my home right now, and not on display thing. I'll bring them back, Rice Maiden, I promise. I just had to see if my Black Series Lando would fit on them.
Is the guy in the Frankfurt office alone?
He's almost alone. Yeah, I'm the last one in the office right here.
Yes.
What time is it?
It's 9 p.m. 9:19.
That's
On a
dedication.
Friday. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yep. We thank you for
It's
being
a
here.
time
Ulf.
zone difference.
Yes, I
There's nothing
understand.
you can do about that.
Yeah, I understand you had to ask for permission from your supervisor.
I had to ask my wife. She was okay with it though, so it's all good.
Gotcha. Let's see.
MVP.
Let's see. What else do we got? Question from Weeborgs again says, what was the reason we didn't get a Gamescom trophy like the last 4 years? We just didn't do one this year. That's all. We had a lot going on this year. It's just because it's basically when you do something every single year, and kind of loses its charm. I think it's not an individual thing. It's not a unique item at that point. I like when we shake things up personally.
Well, we were also between Flare teams at the time. Remember, Behavior did the previous ones, and I think we were in. When we do a trophy or something that has to be in the game at an event, it gets planned 8 months before and done in advance and packaged in the game. So in this case, I think it just worked out that we were making the transition from the team in Canada to the team in Austin, and it just didn't happen.
Gotcha. All right, let's see what else we got going on here. How long are capital ship fights supposed to last? That's one of the things that you guys will help us determine through testing.
Absolutely.
So, when that time comes, when the first capital ship is introduced into the game and you guys can play with it, that's one of the things where, whatever it's introduced at won't be where it ends. The likelihood of us getting it perfectly right the very first time is incredibly low. That's what game development is. So the virtue of having a live environment in the middle of game development is that we don't have to make those decisions ahead of time. We can put them out there with a set of stats and whatnot, and then you guys can play with it, and you guys can give us the feedback, and we can adjust. So the answer is you guys will tell us when that time comes. So Tyler Nolan is a stud in capital letters. From
Says Jackie Togg.
Thank you, Jackie.
Jackie, is that you?
He's like in the other room.
Yeah.
It is him.
That is Jackie.
He was yelling my name in chat because I wasn't responding to his Skype message about some audio files I needed to send over.
Okay. Hey, Disco, the crazy guy in the flight suit say he had a great time with you at Bar Citizen Atlanta.
Wow.
All right.
Interesting.
How was
happened?
There were two guys in cool flight suits. I don't know which one you're talking about.
Like, what was DragonCon like?
Tell
Tell
us
us
about
about it.
Oh, DragonCon, yeah. Last weekend I went to my very first DragonCon. Ben, you've been to several DragonCons. You've talked them up.
I've been going to DragonCon since 99 or 2000. Used to go with my Wing Commander buddies, and I love DragonCon because it's it's the polar opposite of Comic-Con
Yes.
or any of these like Wizard Fan Expos or anything. It's super grassroots. It's all the people who were Star Trek fans in the 70s and the community that's grown around them. When we started Star Citizen, I wanted to do Dragon Con each year because it's, there are these events like PAX you go to, and it's kind of flash in the pan. It's current gamers and everybody, oh, this game is awesome, I'm going to play it for a year. The people at Dragon Con are the ones who make a universe real. They're the people who care about, Space of a Beyond 20 years later. And so it's in such a great community event. Everybody is so human, and I love it.
Yeah, I only had 12 hours on the ground, so I didn't get to experience too much of Dragon Con. But even in just the small slice I had, it was a night and day difference from like the San Diego Comic-Con that we have here. That's the Comic-Con in my area that I've been used to in my life, San Diego Comic-Con and WonderCon, and it was much more like WonderCon as opposed to San Diego Comic-Con. It was I don't want to sound like a hipster here, but it was far less commercial. Nobody. There wasn't as much urgency to everybody's movement. There wasn't as much. It didn't seem like everything was about to collapse in on itself. It was just a bunch of nerds, a lot of Rick and Morty, dressed up and hanging out. And at San Diego, it's always people moving, and here people were just chilling out and relaxing and having fun. And I wished I could stay longer.
There's a lot of like spontaneous drum circles, and
yeah.
It's cool.
I think we should try to go next year.
Yeah, we should do the whole weekend next year if they'll have us.
Yep. All right.
Another question that may have been missed. Goldbeard asked, any hints on what subscriber flare we can expect in the coming months? So a lot of people may have missed it. Alexis actually chimed in chat and said there's a new subscriber flare coming today.
Yes.
I think it's going to be for the next couple months, these schematics.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, it's a surprise.
Yep. Remember that there is a subconscious section in every Monday's Citizens of the Stars where Alexis tells you all the latest subscriber information. So if you are a subscriber and you're wondering what's up, I recommend checking that out every Monday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. What else do we got here? The Nox at Gamescom seemed really squishy. Did it have shields? The build that we had at Gamescom was very, very early. From what we saw, it didn't look like many of the ships had shields at all. I reserve the right to be completely wrong about that, but that was our between DJ and Gamble and Meyer, that was our kind of estimation based on our gameplay.
No, I think they were missing, and it's important to remember that they were updating the builds
every single day
on the show floor to a point where, if you remember, day one, we had atmospheric entry and re-entry effects. Day 2, they were gone. Day 3, they were back. I mean, it's a perfect insight into game development.
Yes.
So the Nox seeming like it wasn't exactly how it should be or whatever during 1 week. I mean, I'm sure it was different the week before, different the week after.
Yep.
But we're going to get it right because it's Nox a problem. That was too easy.
That was.
Can you kill Ben's mic? That's fine.
Yes.
Ben, I'm taking over. Sorry.
What was he saying? What was he saying? I did not hear.
Wow.
Ulf, you're gone
No,
too?
no. This isn't going to
It's a
work.
three-man
Ulf, I'm
show
sorry.
now, guys. Okay.
Ulf, when we brought you on board, we didn't. No.
Yes, welcome to Happy Hour, Lord of the Flies. This is the conch. Okay. Where was it? I missed it. Question about oxygen management. How long can one survive away from one ship without having to go back to it? It's basically the same answer for the Idris question. Whatever it is today isn't necessarily what it's going to be tomorrow, isn't necessarily what it's going to be when it comes out, isn't going to be what it is 3 weeks after it comes out. That's a thing that we will put our first iteration of it on, and then you guys will test it, you guys will give us feedback, and then we'll continue to adjust. It's all part of running a live environment during testing. So how long the oxygen will last in space is a fluid concept that will be tweaked and changed as time goes on.
But let me tell you exactly why I'm really excited about running out of oxygen and dying in space.
There's a pun coming.
That is a
There's
phrase
not
that's
a
never been said in human history.
No, so in 20 years, I've killed all sorts of video game, thousands and thousands of video game monsters and giant crabs and evil knights and so on. But the stories I keep coming back to in my head after all these times are when you run out of food in the Ultimate games and your companions have to starve slowly. And it's cool to see that again.
Yeah. No, it's exciting. I only had that small sliver of 3.0 gameplay, for the 4 days on the show floor. But as DJ and Gamble and Meyer showed, we're building the tools, the crazy things that you guys are getting to do with these things. That's what excites me most about 3.0 is watching the gameplay that you guys, the emergent gameplay that you guys invent, the tools that we give you. So, the Chris says, "Will my teammates hear my heavy breathing?" IRL or
I think he's talking about the stamina
yeah.
system.
I don't know. I don't know what the answer to that is. I think that's one. That's I'll ask around, but I think that's probably something that's better discovered through gameplay.
Maybe they're gonna hear Phil's breathing.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. Where else? Will there be a competition to see who can catch someone falling to a planet? Based on the 4 days on the Gamescom show floor, I absolutely guarantee it. Not an official competition that we'll put on, but I have no doubt there will be orgs out there perpetuating and organizing the suborbital release and catch, because it was a lot of fun and quite challenging. It took us 4 days to fully get it.
Can we make it into like a game of horse?
What?
Can we make it into a game of horse?
I'm muted. That was my bad. I have a cough, and so I keep muting when I have to cough, and then I forget to unmute. Somebody asked, we saw AI at Levski. Will there be AI in other places as well? And so I was pinging really quick just to double check, but yes, all three of the spawn zones, Olisar, Grimhex, and Levski have AI.
Whiskey Omega asked, does the face over IP camera have an IR sensor? I actually don't know the answer to that, Whiskey, but the reason I'm bringing it up is because we are looking to have a follow-up segment with the Faceware guys in the near future. So I will do my best to make sure that question gets in there, because I would like to know. Let's see, what else do we got? Atlas AU says, will we ever see the flying spider again?
I hope not.
When you see it, it's too late.
Yeah.
Who got the Gamescom desks? Chris or Aaron, or did Brian steal them?
I think they're here in Frankfurt.
So you
Brian,
have them.
So Brian did well.
Yeah, I don't know if they've made it to their final destinations yet or not. Let's see. Daddy Cash asks, do you feel confident to overcome the critical issues to 3.0 release? I feel confident that everybody here will do their best. I feel confident that everybody here is working tirelessly to make sure that's the case.
I'm confident we will overcome any issue. As with anything in Star Citizen or game development in general, it will take longer than we would like, but it will work out. And that's the positive side of all this is we have the time to do it right.
Yep. Punk Mofo says, can you tell us any more about the Origin X1?
No.
Oh. I actually got excited for a second too. I was like, "Oh, Ben, I would like to know more too."
You'll be seeing more about the X1 in the next couple weeks. But I
thought you were going to say soon, and I was just going to hang up.
Yeah. If you want to see a very, very, very early look at the physical design process of it, you can check out images that were taken from our DragonCon panel.
Yes,
just
sure.
last weekend.
One of the work in progress is at DragonCon. No, it's going to be a fun one.
Another space motorcycle.
Another space motorcycle.
Remember when that was just? Remember when the idea of a space motorcycle was just?
Nobody wanted to do a space motorcycle. Now this entire game is space motorcycles.
Yeah. Oh, remember we
fought so hard for that.
The Dragonfly was originally part of like the Wave 3 or Wave 4 concept ships.
Yeah. When I did the little briefings for it years ago, and
we gave it to you guys to vote, and you didn't vote for the Dragonfly.
You guys didn't want it. The designers at the time didn't want it. But now it's really cool.
Well, yeah, but after it failed the vote, then it was like a solid year and a half of people asking for it. And it's like, where were you when the vote was happening? You voted for the Genesis Starliner instead of the Dragonfly.
I think it was the Reliant was the one that won that.
Yeah, that's right.
In fact, I think if you go back now, we've done all the poll options now. I think all 5 ships.
Maybe, yeah. Some of them changed a little bit, like
they've all changed
a bit.
Like,
yeah,
even the Reliant is.
Yeah. But no, I'm happy the Dragonfly is in, and then of course the Nox and soon the X1. All right, what else do we got in the chat? Remember, guys, you can submit your questions in either Twitch or Spectrum chat. Please preface the question with the word question in capital letters surrounded by brackets. And, of course, if you're wondering, hey, why aren't they asking my question? Most often the reason is because there isn't an answer that we have to give. So, it's instead of having a show where we constantly say we don't have an answer, we don't have an answer, we don't have an answer, I try to skip the ones that we don't have an answer for. Let's see. Matty Zero says, what is the status of alien languages? Still being worked on. Britain, if you remember from our alien language videos from before, he was just in this office earlier the month for a little summit with Dave Haddock and the lore team. So it is still something in active development. So stay tuned.
They were working on the Xi'an language too.
Yes.
Getting the alphabet and like a doc that helps people understand how to speak in Xi'an, even formal and informal ways. It's really cool.
Yep, we even had some new Xi'an accompany the Nox sale. On the Nox sale page, there were these little vertical banners with Xi'an writing, and a handful of folks spent a good week and a half trying their best to decipher it, and they got very, very close. They got very, very close to doing it. So, good work.
Lando, what's happening with your beard when 3.0 releases?
It's going away. I hate this
Yeah?
thing. It's driving me
You gotta
crazy.
shave it?
Oh yeah, it's driving me crazy. Look at this. It's like, where's it going? It's like, why is it so wavy?
When you say you're shaving it, are you shaving it all the way off, or are you just going to go back to like a Ben style beard?
No.
I think I'm
He's
going all the
shaving
way
it.
off.
Yes, he's
think I'm
Tyler
going all the way
Nolaning it.
He's baby facing.
Yeah, in the nearly 3 years I've worked here, and the 4.5 years I've been part of this community, I've never been seen clean shaven. So I think that's the best way to celebrate the release of 3.0 is to show everybody how incredibly hideous I actually am.
Everybody clip that and do not let him forget that he said it. Thank you.
Yeah. No, it's the last time I was clean shaven, the people told me I look like Jay Leno. So get ready for that.
I will not be shaving my beard because I'm smart.
Yes, much smarter than I am. But in my defense, it'll grow back in a week and a half. So I won't be clean shaven for long.
Do you have like a 1970s mustache or something?
Well, that's the thing. I'll probably play with it a while. I'll probably do it in like a big handlebar mustache. I want to see if I can do like a Sam Shepard, with a cowboy hat,
Jay Lando.
I play with
someone says.
Yeah.
Will ship prices go up in 3.0?
Yes, they will.
Not for everything.
Not for everything. No, the 5 or 6 ships that are becoming flyable will go up a little bit.
Yep.
And we'll add a couple more permanent ships to the store.
Yeah. It's one of the ways, one of the things that often gets asked of us is what is the value of pledging early? What is the value of buying these ships at concept stage? And that is one of the biggest things that we can do for people is offer them the lowest price at concept stage. So some of the ways that we add value to that is through this. So
what's that tapping noise? Do you hear that?
That's probably
That was it, Jared.
I think it's him.
What's Ben's agenda now that he's back?
Oh,
Total world domination.
I was about to say, what?
No, my big plan now is to buy a bunch of Wing Commander stuff on German eBay and make Ulf send it to us.
Did they talk about that at all during your interview
major
process?
Part of the job.
Ben, I have something for you. When I was in Germany, Inez gave me a package and told me to bring it back to you.
Oh, thank you.
Why wouldn't she?
I meant to give it to Jared before I left Germany, but I didn't. So now it's in Texas, but I need to get this to you.
Well, I'm hoping to come out to Texas soon, so I'll just hang on to it.
Cool.
No, I'm. This week has all been just getting back to things. Where are we on the X1? Where are we on the one that's coming after the X1?
No, we're wrong.
So just spaceships, a lot of spaceships, a lot of hopefully attending more events now that I can see. It's going to be a fun rest of the year. We have some crazy stuff planned for CitizenCon and beyond.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah. In fact,
It's going to be in Germany.
Right now we're working on the booklet for our sale for the. I'm trying to keep this broad because I can't spoil it, but it's my favorite booklet we've ever done, and I'm so
it's pretty
excited
good.
about it.
It's pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty good. Is there anything you can tell us about Squadron 42? Yes, it's the single-player component of the Star Citizen. It allows you to be an enlisted officer and fight against the Vandul
Please
in a
smack Jared.
thrilling single-player adventure.
Hit him.
Yes, hit him hard.
Let's see, what else? What else we got?
Is Spectrum 2.6 waiting for 3.0 or?
No. Spectrum 2.6 is completely independent. It's just that right now a lot of turbulence or resources are spent on the Delta Patcher.
Yeah.
And getting that up and running. So, like all things, there's only a finite number of resources. Even with 500 people across 5 studios in the world and then Turbulent top, there's still only so many things that we can work on at a time. And a lot of Turbulence focus right now is on the Delta Patcher. So Spectrum patches, the next 2 Spectrum patches, they're all kind of designed, they're all kind of laid out with what the features that they want. It's just development is slower than normal on them while resources are attached to the Delta Patcher. And we all know how important the Delta Patcher is. So it makes sense why their focus is there at the moment.
We're really looking forward to it.
It's basically like any late 90s space sim where they figured out they could add a layer of complexity by having like 3 different power settings, and you have to balance between shields and engines and guns. So we're all on guns right now at Turbulent.
This has come up a couple times. Ben, is there anything that we can say about the 3rd edition of Jump Point? The printed for Jump Point, rather?
Yes, it's my fault that it has not out yet because I'm supposed to write an article for it that David Ladyman has very politely been on me about. So I'm going to do that this weekend, and then we'll get our sample, and the process will continue back on. But it is 100% my fault that it's not done right now.
Gotcha. For those of you who asking more Squadron 42 questions, the virtue of my answer was my polite way of saying that there's not much we can talk about for Squadron 42. It is the one aspect of our development process we can keep spoiler-free and stuff like that. So, it's very important to us that we don't spoil any of that for you. So generally speaking, we're going to stay away from Squadron 42 questions.
It's in the fog of war, but it will eventually emerge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is the
And we can't wait.
Okay. Infamagoose asks, on a scale of 1 to 10, how good was the original Wing Commander game? But I'm not going to ask that question.
What was this?
How good was what? You cut out.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how good was the original Wing Commander game?
He's.
It was cut out again.
Yeah, he cut out for me again too, right at the end.
Oh, well.
That's okay.
Sorry. Let's see what else. Let's see. What else do we got? Looking for questions.
Ben, people always just want to know about the Game Changer.
The Game Changer is coming. It's not this month, but it could come anytime after this month.
Okay. So somebody asked if when people upgrade to the Aquila, they get the Merlin and the Ursa. Yes. Yes. If you CCU to the Aquila, that comes with the Ursa and the Merlin. So the Aquila is a terrific value at the moment, and one of the ships very likely to go up in price for 3.0. So
yes, I can confirm the Aquila is going up for 3.0.
So last chances to get it at this price, people.
Nightwing says, can you release the new ship matrix even if 3.0 isn't out yet? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is being worked on, and they're currently doing a pretty large revamp to our website just to make it more intuitive and upgrade it. And the ship matrix, I think, might be coming with that, right?
That's our intention.
Yeah, that is the
That's
plan.
the intention.
Yes.
In fact, John Crew, I think this week is taking a pass at another pass at how it all works.
Yes.
It's very close.
Yeah, the new Matrix is far more complex than the old Matrix. That's why the old Matrix that's currently available on the website has gotten so far into disarray. It's with the implementation of Item 2.0 and the ship component system. There was just no equivalence between the old system and the new. So he is helping us out to build with Turbulent to make sure that the new system covers all the various ship components that are necessary to fully describe to you the capabilities of a ship. And he just went through, and we had Kirk Tomei first. Kirk Tomei did a great job going through all 103 of our ship variants and collecting all that data. And then even after that happened, there were still discrepancies because it's 103 ships, all with 30 to 40 different components and stats and stuff. So John Crew has made another pass. We will go and do a sanity check with that. If we need a third pass after that, we'll keep going. But yeah, it's a lot of work, and we know how important it is to a lot of people. So we're taking our time with it to make sure it's as good as it can be when it rolls out. It will still need work after it rolls out. It's not going to be it's not going to be perfect when it comes out. It will be the first iteration of this new system, but top men are on it.
Yes, and we have seen your threads on Spectrum requesting it. We have forwarded that feedback on it, and we have followed up with that feedback because I think that we want it just as much.
Yes.
Yeah. But as we say, we are aiming for it when the website gets updated.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Mr. Bambuza says, is the ship pipeline still active while the 3.0 code branch is locked? Yes. Ships are built independently of our patch system. In fact, one of the most common questions we get is, will this ship be in this patch? And the honest answer is basically they work on ships until they become ready, and then when the ship is ready, it goes into whatever the next patch is. So it's not that this ship is scheduled for 3.1 or this ship is scheduled for 3.3. It's the ships are actively being built at all times, and when they become ready, that's when we slot them in to a ship. Like for instance, when 3.0 was first announced and planned, the upcoming Aurora was not in. Was not in 3.0. It wasn't until the development of 3.0 took longer and went on through months that the Aurora became ready, and so now it goes in.
Well, let's give some credit to the Aurora guys because they actually beat their timeline on that.
Yes, they did.
Yes, they did that real darn fast.
Yeah, we thought the Aurora was originally going to be a 3.1 ship, and they got their work done quickly. And 3.0 development, is taking what it took. So that's how it goes. It's when it's ready. That's what patch it goes into. So when we say when it's ready, it's not that we're being sly or coy with the answer. It's the legitimate truth. It's when it becomes ready, it goes into the patch that's there for it.
Absolutely. There's actually quite a few things that came online earlier than intended.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And you'll see that not just in ships, but in all other sorts of development. There are folks working on things that are for later patches right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yep. And if their work gets done earlier, then it can get slotted in. And if not,
It's like making a Thanksgiving dinner, and your sides are done at different times, but that. I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, but instead of eating one meal at the end, you're eating several meals throughout the preparation.
Well, they say that's good for you.
Yeah.
Several small meals.
Yeah. Halibird Hunter says, is the reclaimer complete? No. If you saw ATV I guess it was it's almost 2 months ago now. They said they still had 3 rooms left to do, and that was just in the ship art phase. Then, of course, once the ship art is done, then it goes to our technical artists, where they make all the LODs, they make all the GFX. Then it goes to programming. They have to hook up all the game systems and stuff like that. So there was a big misconception about 2 months ago when our art team said there's only 3 rooms left for the art. They were speaking only for the ship art. There's far more that goes into making a ship flyable and usable in the Star Citizen universe, and the Reclaimer, being a very large ship, still has to go through all those other phases. So it'll be some time yet before the Reclaimer is in the game.
Herbazita says, question, after the Delta patch release, hotfixes will be implemented also? Yes, it does open up the door to potential hotfixes. And also, I just wanted to tell you guys that working near the DevOps guys here, and a lot of the people that have been working on the Delta patcher, everybody's super excited about it. I recommend you watch the Citizens of the Stars episode from 4 weeks ago with Mike Jones. He talks a little bit about how really the work that they ended up doing was above their expectations with the results that they got, and they're really excited about it coming online. And then the other one, there's another one. Somebody asked, will we ever do SIG official events in Australia? Who knows? But we did attend a Bar Citizen earlier this year. We had a handful of people out there.
We did an event in Australia once.
We did a PAX
Sandy and
Australia
Chris
once.
went down there for
PAX. That's right.
No,
so
they haven't done a PAX since then, have they?
Well, no, there's been PAX Australia since
every
then.
year.
Just we haven't gone back. Yeah.
But we should.
All right. Let's see. A couple questions throughout for the last 40 minutes about the 300 series rework. The 300 series rework has not begun. It is currently scheduled for the end of the year. However, that's a schedule dependent on other things. Like it's like the artist that's going to be doing it. He's got things to do before that, and how long or short those take will determine when he gets to go to the 300. So we're thinking it'll start in December. That's what's on the schedule. But honestly, it's like all other aspects of development. It depends on everything that's got to happen before it. So
Dependencies.
Yep. So, but it's not in progress yet. So there's nothing to report.
I saw a cool fan made one on Reddit the other day.
Yeah, the recent 600i and the reveal of the origin. One of they've got people.
The origin. What are you?
You're
doing it now.
Ari, I did it. the Origin X1.
No more touching the table.
Sorry. Are making people people have taken it upon themselves to start imagining what the 300 rework is going to be like, and it is very cool. I like to see those. So, but yeah, but basically, guys, when questions, the answer we can't answer them. We don't know. It's when all the stars align. So,
when are we going to get to Planet 10?
Soon. Let's see. What else do we got going on here? The Cutlass Blue is ready on the schedule. We see it in 3.0. No, the Cutlass Blue is not ready on the schedule. The Cutlass Blue is scheduled to be worked on in that schedule. It is not a 3.0 ship. Josh Coons is still working on the blue and the red simultaneously. So that work is still ongoing. That's basically one of those things I was just talking about. The schedule is the period of time when they were supposed to start work. It's no indication of when it's going to finish. It's things will take as long as they take to make. What else do we
What will
got?
the next happy hour theme be? Do we have it planned?
Yes. 2 weeks from today, Josh Herman will be returning for another happy hour game dev. You create a creature. So we are going to try this again.
Oh no.
And if something ends up in somebody's crotch, I'm quitting. So
Wow.
So that's our next happy hour in 2 weeks.
When do I get a museum?
It's scheduled to be 2 weeks after that.
All right.
So.
He just made it right now.
I loved it the way you said that.
What?
When do I get a museum?
Let's see. What else do we got? Would it be cool? Would be cool to do a town hall Q&A with Dan Truffin in game design? Yes, he's on our wish list for something. In fact, without promising anything, I'm going to pursue that for our next subscribers town hall. So, again, without promising, I have to talk to him and see what his schedule's like and whatnot. So,
I can talk to him and try to talk him into it.
well, Dan Trevin and I go way back. We were in the war together.
Which war?
The old war. Any news about the Banu Merchantman? Same deal with the Carrack. It's not actively worked on right now, so there's no information. When its time comes up in the schedule, you can be certain we will let you know. So, I promise we're not going to keep that a secret. when work on the Carrack or the Merchantman begins, we'll let you know.
Yes, one of the things I'm happiest with about our output in the last year or so is we share the ships when they go into integration rather than,
Yep.
Cause, the first 2 years or so we kind of kept it until the ship was totally ready, and now we share the process more, and it's great.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It's one of the virtues of having our more in-depth studio reports in ATV and stuff like that. So,
Yep.
So trust me, when it goes into production, we'll let you know.
Bristol Boy is so random.
Yes.
Will there be a dentist profession in Star Citizen? I'm interested after having a dental op today.
Sounds like someone is still on the thing there.
Anesthesia.
Yep. Gohamo asks, how is the Phoenix doing? Josh Coons is moving to the Phoenix as soon as he's done with the Cutlass blue and red. So that's one of those things we talked about, where it's the artist is tied up in one thing before he can move on to another thing. So he is the artist scheduled for the Phoenix, and he is the artist scheduled for the Cutlass blue and the red. So he has to finish the work on this before he can start the work on that.
Yeah, we did mention that he had worked some part of the Phoenix, and that was really about like the materials.
Yeah, it was
right?
a tech.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and ATV about a month ago, they showed some material tests. It was just him on the side playing with some material stuff. But as folks, eagle-eye viewers pointed out, it was still the existing Connie Andromeda model and not the Phoenix model. So it was just him playing with materials on the side. But his focus right now is still the Cutlass blue and red at the moment. So he's got to finish those before he can move on to the Phoenix. So
The Star Citizen geek in me got excited about that one. Can we do a tour of the Idris Happy Hour? I would love to do that.
That'd be cool.
Maybe.
We'll beg.
Maybe.
We'll beg.
Let's see. Any updates on the Terrapin? The Terrapin is being built out here in LA. Jin is working on it over in that half of the office, along with his team, Elwin and Daniel and others. It's looking awesome. I've gone on the record as saying I was not a fan of the Terrapin concept. It wasn't until Jin started building it out in 3D where I really saw the virtue of the ship, for me personally. So I'm in love with the ship now after seeing the work that we've been doing here in LA on it. So I'm excited about getting that into the game when that comes.
Yeah, I think Sandy's Twitter actually showed a picture of what Jin was working on recently too.
Yes.
So
she's a scamp. She gets in there and gets these pictures.
Yep.
So let's see. What else do we got? We've only got a couple more minutes, guys. Remember, you can submit questions on either Twitch and or Spectrum. Please preface your questions with the word question in capital letters surrounded by brackets. Cromer asks, are you guys happy? In general or right now?
I have half a country between me and Disco Lando, so I'm generally
Thrilled.
pretty happy.
Thrilled.
Yeah.
Especially after Gamescom.
Yes.
I got a big ocean.
Somebody has to.
I'm super happy.
No, yes, I think I speak on behalf of everybody. We're all happy.
Yeah, I'm
Very happy.
I'm happier than I've been in a long time. I mean, I'm feeling good.
You can see.
Because
Definitely taller.
I'm taller.
Somebody asked,
Because they fixed all the other problems with me.
Is CIG still hiring? Yes, we are. CloudImperiumGame.com/jobs. We have positions around the world. So go take a look. Everything you need to know about the positions are there. And reach out.
Yep. For those asking about whether this ship will be in 3.0 or that ship, the 3.0 ships are pretty much locked at this point. It's the
locked for 3.0.
Yeah. Ships. It's the updated Aurora models. It's the updated Cutlass Black model. It's the Dragonfly. It's the Nox. It's the Prospector. It's the Constellation Aquila. And did I miss one?
Rover?
And the Ursa Rover. And the Ursa Rover. Those are the new vehicles being added for 3.0. So, how great is it to have Ben back? Earmuffs, Ben. Don't want you to hear this. It's so good to have him back.
Please.
I mean, having to fill in for this guy in meetings and on emails and stuff for the last 8 weeks. It's just he does so much for this project that nobody knows, and it's having to fill in just a little bit was driving me crazy. I can't do what he does, and I'm really glad he's back.
It's been miserable with just me and Jerry.
Yeah. All right. I just don't want him to hear any of that. So you can come back now, Ben.
No, you are.
Spacesuits will have a different oxygen capacity in 3.0. Like you mean different spacesuits will have different oxygen? I don't know the answer to that, but that's a curious question, and I'm gonna see if I can't find that out.
I don't know if they will in 3.0, but they certainly will eventually.
Yeah. So let's see.
Ooh, here's a good one.
Yeah.
Diogenesis says, do you guys enjoy working on the game, dealing with the bugs? Just a reminder, we haven't talked about this in a long time, but this is completely normal. Generally, you just don't see the game at this point in its development pipeline. Yeah. So coming from QA before community, this is totally normal. You're just getting to peek behind the curtain and actually getting to download and play something in a much earlier state than a game is traditionally shared with the public. So, no, we don't mind at all. It's all part of the process.
And I think there's sort of this sense that, oh, if you work at the hot dog factory, you definitely don't want to eat hot dogs. It's not like that in gaming at all. We are eager to eat as many hot dogs as possible.
I'm literally on an all hot dog diet right now. So with that,
yeah, can we end it with that,
Yep,
please?
that's where we're wrapping it up. that is the end of the Happy Hour Community Show for Friday, September 8th, 2017. We hope you enjoyed it. Coming up next week, we've got Citizens of the Stars on Monday. We have a special edition of Bug Smashers on Wednesday. Mark, our own Mark Abent, has been moving through the ranks. He's recently been promoted to senior lead. Super game programmer, whatnot. So his workload is increased for 3.0. So he's taking a little time off, and we're going to have a couple different programmers fill in over the next couple weeks.
Time off to work harder.
Yeah, time off to work harder. Time off from the Bug Smashers show to work harder. So we've got some interesting Bug Smashers episodes coming up for you in the next couple weeks. Different format, different host, all that kind of stuff. So we hope you enjoyed that. Then of course Thursday around the verse as usual. With another burn down in a segment for you. And then, yeah, so stuff to look forward to next week. Oh, Jump Point coming out later today or next week? Next week. So Jump Point coming out next Friday.
Scare me.
Yeah. Jump Point coming out. Well, that's the thing. It's already the third Friday next week, and it's like
that's great.
It's crazy.
Wow.
So yeah, for what show is this? Happy Hour.
Well, hey, look, I'd like to say before we sign off, I would just want to thank everybody out there for all the incredible support you guys have given me in the last few weeks. Just all the love and the kindness. Interest of open development. This thing had me more scared than I've ever been in my life, and the Star Citizen community was there for me, and it was so amazing. So thank you guys so much.
Ben is back.
Yeah,
Mac. Yes, return of the Ben.
All right.
There's 07s in chat, people.
All right. So for Happy Hour, I'm Jared. That's Tyler. That was Ben. That's Tyler. And that was Ulf over there. We'll see you in 2 weeks, everybody.